Assalamu alaikum. My name is Adam Zulkarnain, and over the past few years, I've built multiple e-commerce brands that have now done over £20 million in sales online. Alhamdulillah. Now, if you're watching this, chances are you are a Muslim looking to start your own online business. And naturally, you are wondering, where do I begin? What's the best way to get started? And most importantly, how do I do so in a way that is halal, ethical, and doesn't compromise my deen? So in this video, I'm going to give you a breakdown, step by step, how you can start your own e-commerce brand from scratch, working just a few hours a week from anywhere in the world, and turn it into a business that makes anywhere from 5 to 10 to 50k per month. I'll show you everything from how to find the right product, how to source it from the best suppliers, how to launch it online, and how to scale it into a real income stream. So let's get into it. Firstly, what is e-commerce? E-commerce is simply just a fancy word for selling products online, right? So you take a product, you put it on a website, someone clicks buy now, and then the money lands into your account. That's it. But what we do is a specific type of e-commerce. It's called branded e-commerce. And what that basically means is that instead of just selling random products or doing drop shipping where you have no control over anything, we create our own branded products and then we grow them like real assets. So whereas with the majority of e-commerce business models like drop shipping, wholesale, retail arbitrage, you can still make some money, but at the end of the day, you don't really own anything. So the main issue with those is that you're not building a brand. You're not building any equity. All you are doing is just flipping products and hustling to make money. And the moment you stop, the money stops. Or the moment someone with more money and better pricing comes in, they wipe you out. But with branded e-commerce, you are actually building something real. Something that you can grow, invest your time in, and then someday either sell for a big payday or pass on down to your children. And that's why this business model works so well, especially for us Muslims, because we are not just chasing some short-term gains. We want long-term halal income, something that grows, something that supports our families, and ultimately something that gives us freedom without compromising our values. So with that, let's start with step 1, how to find the right product. Now hear me out for a second, okay? Because when most people start their e-commerce journey, the first thing they do is they say, I need to find a product. And that sounds right, doesn't it? You go on YouTube, everyone's saying it. Find a winning product. The top 10 trending products to sell in 2025 and 2026. So you're probably thinking, right? Wait, Adam, isn't the product the whole point? Yes, but no. So let me explain, okay? When you start with the product, you are doing what everyone else is also doing. You are looking for something random that's hot or going viral right now, but there's no real reason behind why you are selling it, right? There's no deeper purpose. There's no long-term angle. All you are doing is just short-term trend chasing. And that's exactly why so many people fail, because they are not solving a real problem. They are not connecting with a real person. What they are doing is just trying to sell anything, right? Something, and hoping that it sticks. But what we do is different, okay? So we don't start with the product. What we do is we start with the person. We start with a specific type of customer, someone who's usually going through a challenge, a frustration, or a life transition. So we get into their head, we study their lifestyle, we look at what they're searching for, what they are struggling with, what they're trying to fix, trying to improve or solve. And through understanding them, that's where product opportunities appear. Do you see how different that is? Instead of just jumping on TikTok, seeing what everyone else is doing, and launching your own version of supplement gummies or Shilajit. Instead, you are starting with a person. So for example, let's take a couple that just had a baby. So they are going through a major life transition. And naturally, everything is changing, right? So their routines, their priorities, their sleep, their spending, their purchases. And it's in this transition that they start buying a bunch of new products, right? So things like baby probiotics, colic drops, swaddles, noise machines, bottle warmers, natural products, things like natural creams. Now, here's the key part, okay? It's in this moment of change where they are most open to discovering new solutions, because suddenly they have new problems that they've never faced before. And that's where opportunity lives. So let's say, for example, that this couple has bought a probiotic for the baby, okay? But it doesn't work, or it tastes bad and the baby won't take it, or it's not halal certified, or the ingredients aren't clear, right? So these are the possible scenarios for this product. And so as Muslim parents, this is something that they require, right? Now, in that moment, they've got a need that's unmet. So the solution they bought didn't solve their problem. And that right there is your opportunity. You see, it's in situations like this where a product exists but doesn't fully deliver. And that's where you can step in, create something that's better, and build a brand around it. That's the foundation of real e-commerce. So with this method, now you are not guessing, you are not copying. What you are doing is you are solving a real problem for a real person in a real life situation. And then you are doing it better than what's already out there. So that's step one. You identify your target avatar, you understand their pain points, and then you build everything around them, which is the product, the branding, and the messaging. All of it. Now on to step two, validating demand and competition. Just because you found a good problem to solve doesn't mean it's a smart product to sell yet. So you need to validate the demand, meaning, are enough people actually searching for this product? Are people buying it consistently? Is there a real active market? And then you also need to look at the competition, because even if the product has demand, if the market is too saturated or it's dominated by huge brands with thousands of reviews, it's going to be hard to break through. So ideally, you want medium to high demand and medium to low competition. That gives you space to enter, to compete, and to make some real money, but without getting swallowed for brands that have been there for 10 years. Now, the best place to validate this is actually Amazon's marketplace, because Amazon literally shows you the sales data on most products now. So if you scroll through a listing, any product listing, you'll often see something like this: over 3,000 bought in the past month, right? So that shows you demand. That shows you roughly how much each product is selling. However, we can go deeper, right? So there's a tool called Helium 10, and inside Helium 10, there's another tool called X-Ray. And what it does is it gives you a full breakdown of any product on Amazon. It gives you an X-ray of the product, right? So you can see the estimated sales per month, the estimated revenue, the review count, and you can see the pricing history and how well the product has sold over time. You can use this tool to scan the first page of results for your product idea, and you can validate that there's enough demand spread across multiple sellers, not just one brand dominating that's got thousands of sales. No, if you see 5 to 10 listings doing consistent sales, that's a strong signal. So that's step two, okay? Use data, not guesswork. Validate that the market is real, and then make sure that there is enough room for you to compete. Once that's confirmed, you are ready for step three, which is finding a manufacturer and starting your brand. Now, this part is a lot more straightforward than most people think, right? At this stage, your goal is simple. Find a company that can make the product for you. And for most product categories, whether it's skincare, supplements, home goods, or anything else, the majority of these products can be manufactured in China. And the easiest place to start is a website called Alibaba. If you've never heard of Alibaba before, think of it like Amazon, but instead of buying one item, you are working directly with factories to produce products for you in bulk under your own brand, and they are generally from China. So here's how the process works. You type in the product that you want to create. For example, let's say that you want to create a set of sensory toys for babies, right? Now, when you type this in, you'll see dozens, sometimes hundreds of verified suppliers. From there, your job is to find a high quality supplier, message them and get pricing and details, order samples, And obviously, you need to make sure that they offer private label services. So that means they can put your branding on the product that they produce for you. Now, when it comes to branding the product, this is the part that a lot of beginners get stuck on, okay? Because you've never done this before and it's something new to you. So this is where you would take that generic product and then you would turn it into a brand that actually stands out and that speaks to your customer. So essentially, the way you brand the product and you design it is in a way that really draws your customer to buy your product instead of the other ones on the shelves, right? So most of the manufacturers will send you what's called a die line. And basically it's a flat packing template and it's like an unfolded version of your product's box or label. And it's up to you to get your branding and design created and applied to that die line. But here's the good news though. It's 10 times easier now than it was just a few years ago, thanks to AI tools. Nowadays, you can literally use ChatGPT to help you come up with brand name ideas based on your target customer, to brainstorm product angles and the way you want to position your brand, to help write your benefit-driven packaging copy, to help plan your image layouts for Amazon or Shopify, and even help draft your secondary images, which are the ones with lifestyle images and text to help sell your product. And this is exactly what we teach you inside of our community at Come Learn Ecom. How to find the right product, how to validate the demand using real data, how to design and build a brand that actually stands out, all without guesswork. So that brings us on to the next step. How do we get it listed on Amazon? Now you might be thinking, why are we going to sell the product on Amazon? Well, because it's literally a launchpad for your business. You see, unlike other platforms where you have to chase customers down or you have to drive that traffic to your product, Amazon already has millions of shoppers searching for products like yours every single day. So your job is simple. Build a product that solves a real problem, make it look desirable to your target customer, and then get it in front of those shoppers. And one of the most incredibly effective ways of doing that is with Amazon ads. So let's say that you are selling, let's go back to the baby sensory toy, okay? So you can literally go onto Amazon, right? Target that exact keyword, so baby sensory toy, and your ad will show up right at the top when someone searches for it. So now you are not hoping that someone stumbles across your website or finds your product randomly by luck, right? You are literally putting your product in front of people actively searching to buy. And here's how it works. So you run ads, they get clicks, people buy, Amazon sees that your product is doing well, and then because obviously Amazon is a business and they want to make more money, what do? As a result of your performance and how well you are doing, they start pushing your product higher, but in the organic search results. And that means you get sales for free. So you start showing up for people who are making relevant searches for your product, but this time without paying for them. And that's why Amazon is such a powerful launchpad. And then what you can do to make that launch even stronger is you can start bringing in traffic from outside of Amazon. So from places like TikTok, Instagram, Reels. And here's a powerful hack that you can use, right? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is literally go find your top competitors on TikTok, scroll through the videos, find the ones that have blown up, the ones that have loads of views, lots of comments and shares, and literally copy the format. So just take those videos and then copy them for your own version of your product and then post it online. Simple as that. You are basically just reverse engineering what's already worked and then using that traffic to drive people straight to your Amazon product listing. That's how you can launch your product listing, and that's how you can scale it so fast to 5, 10, 15, 20k plus per month within no time. And so yeah, that's the end of the video. So that's how you can start an e-commerce business in 2026. So if you're interested in learning about this a bit more in depth and you want to be part of a community that helps you build it, launch it and scale it step by step to tens of thousands of dollars or pounds per month, check the video description below. There's a link that takes you to our website, comelearnecom.com, and on there you'll find a breakdown, a case study, and an application form with all the information you need to get started. And yeah, inshallah, we will help you crush this business so that you can finally take control of your income and, start building something that actually gives you options.